What if I told you that the chaos in Syria isn't just a local issue, but a carefully orchestrated game played on the world stage? A battle where lives are pawns, and power is the prize. Stay with me to uncover truths hidden behind headlines, truths that many would prefer you never learn. For over a decade, Syria has endured one of the most devastating wars in modern history. While it is often labeled as a civil war, this narrative hides the bigger picture. This is not merely a domestic conflict, it's an international battlefield, fueled and manipulated by foreign powers. From 2011 onward, violent protests in Syria caught the world's attention. But what many don't know is how foreign governments, particularly the United States and its allies, funneled billions of dollars into arming rebel groups. The CIA alone spent over $1 billion annually, not just supporting moderate rebels, but also groups linked to extremist factions like Al-Qaeda and ISIS. This covert program, known as Operation Timber Sycamore, was among the largest since the Cold War's infamous Operation Cyclone in Afghanistan. These efforts, under the guise of freedom, led to catastrophic consequences. Weapons intended for moderates found their way into the hands of extremist groups, fueling violence, displacing millions, and destroying lives. Even groups openly identified as terrorist organizations benefited from these initiatives. In 2016, Aleppo, Syria's second-largest city, was a focal point of this tragedy. Once liberated by the Syrian government, it later fell into the hands of extremist factions rebranded to deceive global opinion. These groups, while celebrated in Western media as freedom fighters, shared the same ideologies as Al-Qaeda. The irony? The same Western nations publicly condemning terrorism were arming these groups behind closed doors. This war is not just about Syria. It's about the geopolitical chess game involving Iran, Hezbollah, Russia, and the broader Middle East. The U.S. and Israel, driven by strategic interests, have pursued policies that aim to dismantle alliances opposing their dominance. Economic sanctions, covert operations, and outright military support for extremist groups are all tools in this playbook. The suffering inflicted on Syrians is further compounded by crippling sanctions. These measures have devastated the economy, causing shortages of basic necessities like food and fuel. The goal? To force Syria into cutting ties with allies like Iran and Hezbollah, further isolating it in the region. But what does this mean for us, the global audience? It means understanding that what happens in Syria affects us all. It's a reminder of the cost of unchecked power and the consequences of international silence. This resonates with you. Take action. Share this story because the world deserves to know. Subscribe to stay informed, and let's discuss solutions together. Your voice matters, and together we can stand for truth in a world that often tries to bury it.